right across the floor. Another day I can't ignore. Sun drips honey on the blinds, painting poems across my mind. Coffee curls like a whispered tune, dancing slow in a silver spoon. Street below got a lazy swing, taxi horns try to softly sing, but I'm wrapped in a mellow tone, in this space that I call my own. Ink flows where the thoughts align, every second feels like mine. No chaos in the way I move, just a quiet kind of groove. It's a golden hour state of mind, where the rush gets left behind. Every breath in perfect time, with the rhythm of the climb. I don't chase, I let it be. Work turns into poetry, line by line I'm feeling free, in this jazz serenity. Pages bloom with the soft intent, every word like it's heaven sent. Deadlines fade in a velvet haze, I get lost in this lucid phase. Fingers tap with a subtle grace, like a drummer in hidden space. Every task got a heartbeat now, and I ride it, I don't ask how. No weight on my shoulders stays, just to flow through the working days. Little sparks turn into flame, every moment redefines the game. It's a golden hour state of mind, where the rush gets left behind. Every breath in perfect time, with the rhythm of the climb. I don't chase, I let it be. Work turns into poetry, line by line I'm feeling free, in this jazz serenity. Blueprints mixed with daydream skies, quiet winds in disguise. No applause, no neon lights, just these small, consistent highs. Pen strokes write what I become, not too fast, not too numb. In between the now and then, I just flow and flow again. It's a golden hour state of mind, every doubt just falls in line. I don't need to redefine what it means to take my time. Every note just guides my way through the calm of a working day. In this groove I choose to stay, till the light begins to fade. Sun leans low, but I remain in the rhythm, in the lane. Not a loss and not a gain, just a song inside my brain. Soft light through the window pane, city hum like a slow champagne. Sit the day, let it ease my mind. Got that rhythm, leave the stress behind. Clock ticks but I'm feeling fine. Lo-fi beats in a steady line. Coffee warm and the world's on mute. Every moment feels absolute. No rush, just flow, take it slow, let it go. Breathe in, feel alive. This is how we thrive. Good morning, let the groove begin. Sunlight dancing on my skin. Every note just pulls me in. Work and dream, let's dive within. Let's dive within. Keyboard taps like a drum so light. Ideas glow in the morning light. Every task got a mellow swing. Turn the grind into everything. Floating in a rhythm so clean. Between the lines of what I mean. No pressure, just a vibe so true. Doing what I love to do. Good morning, let the groove begin. Sunlight dancing on my skin. Every note just pulls me in. Working dream, let's dive within. Work, dive within. The day unfolds in a golden hue. Simple things feeling brand new. With a beat that carries me through. Morning groove, just me and you. The stage is quiet now, but I'm still here. Yeah. Lights hang low in amber haze. Dust still dancing from the plays. Empty seats remember sound of every time I broke or drowned. Scripts are scattered on the floor. Lines I've spoken long before. Marked with edits crossed and bent. Versions of what I once meant. Costumes draped on silent chairs. Worn by all my former heirs. Each one tailored to a scene of who I thought I had to be. I rehearsed what felt like truth. Played it back in different hues. But something in the silence grew. A question I could not subdue. All these scenes I outgrew slow. Every role I used to know. Every line I memorized couldn't hold what lived inside. Applause fades, but I remain off the script, beyond the frame. And I'm starting to recall I was never just the role. Morning creeps behind the stage, softly turning every page. Emails blink like cueing lights, telling me to hit my lines. Deadlines call like distant cues. Stay in character, don't lose, but I feel it in my chest. This unscripted kind of breath. I pause mid-act, forget the line. Let the silence redesign all the pressure, all the pace, all the mass I used to chase. No director in the dark, no one grading every mark. Just a space I never knew, where I choose what I pursue. All these scenes I outgrew slow. Every role I used to know. Every line I memorized couldn't hold what lived inside. Applause fades, but I remain off the script, beyond the frame. And I'm starting to recall I was never just the role. Who wrote the lines I tried to keep? Who defined the parts so deep? Every act I tried to play was a choice I made that way. Not a sign, not set in stone. Every stage I called my own. And the fear I couldn't face was the freedom to replace. So I step beyond the light, leave the script and lose the fight. Not defeated, not undone, just no longer needing one. Every role dissolves in me, every version set free. Not erased but rearranged in a truth no script contained. All these scenes I let them go. Every role I used to know. place as I step beyond the stage. No more cues I need to hear, no more parts I have to fear, and the voice I tried to find was the one I left behind. The curtain never closed. I just stopped pretending it had to. I don't rush anymore. I design. Morning draws its fragile lines across a desk of borrowed time. Blueprints scattered undefined, half in ink and half in mind. Steam ascends like ghosted plans from a cup held in my hands. Every curl a question mark, hanging softly in the dark. I used to chase a finished frame, sign my worth beside a name. Now I sketch an open space, let the process set the pace. Foundations laid in smaller moves, hidden work the world removes, brick by brick, unseen and alone, building things that won't be shown. No applause inside these walls, just the echo when it falls. Every doubt I redesign as a part of the grand design. I build in silence, line by line. No need to prove what's truly mine. Every flaw becomes a guide in the architecture inside. No spotlight, no grand debut, just the structure breaking through. From the quiet, from within, that's the place I always begin. Inbox flickers, restless light, tiny urgencies in flight. But I measure what I keep, what to answer, what to sleep. Pacing thoughts like measured beams, balancing my doubts and dreams. Weight distributed with care, so nothing heavy lingers there. Used to think the goal was height, now I focus more on right angles, patience, subtle art. Though bearing pieces of the heart, every pause a sacred space, not a loss I need to chase. In the stillness I can see what is built authentically. Every crack reveals the truth, every flaw becomes the proof. Not perfection I define, but intention and design. I build in silence, line by line. No need to prove what's truly mine. Every flaw becomes a guide in the architecture inside. No spotlight, no grand debut, just the structure breaking through. From the quiet, from within, that's the place I always begin. They were racing toward the sky, I was asking why so high. If the ground beneath is weak, what's the point of what you seek? So I slowed my moving hands, reimagined all my plans. Not to finish, not to win, but to understand within. Daylight shifts its tone, and I'm no longer unknown. Not the crowds or fleeting eyes, but the truths I recognize. Every line I chose to draw held together what I saw. Not perfection, not display, just a life built day by day. I build in silence, still and slow. With every piece I come to know. Not ahead and not behind, just aligned with my own design. No applause flaws. I don't require external noise to lift me higher. What I built, I finally see, was always building me. No blueprint was ever wrong. It just wasn't finished yet. Are you listening? Or just hearing? Morning hums to broken bands, static slipping through my hands, radio beside my bed, spitting fragments half unsaid, voices buried in the noise, echoes dressed like other choices. Every channel, every tone sounded like it wasn't my own. Coffee cooling, screen aglow, deadlines lying in steady rows. But something deeper cut the thread, a quieter signal in my head. I kept turning every dial, stayed lost in it for a while, till I noticed in between there was space I'd never seen. In the static I found signs, hidden in the blurred outlines. Not the loudest, not the clear, but the ones that felt most near. I don't follow every sound, just the frequency I found. Somewhere soft but deeply true, like a voice I always knew. The city wakes in fractured waves, neon flickers, traffic sways. Everyone's on different speeds, broadcasting their urgent needs. Emails ringing like alarms, pulling focus from my arms, but I filter what comes through. Not every call is meant for you. Used to answer every tone, now I curate what I own. Cut the noise and let it fade, keep the signal that was made. Not everything deserves my time, not every rhythm fits my rhyme. In the silence I can hear what was always sitting near. In the static I found signs, hidden in the blurred outlines. Not the loudest, not the clear, but the ones that felt most near. I don't follow every sound, just the frequency I found. Somewhere soft but deeply true, like a voice I always knew. Maybe clarity's not clean, maybe truth is rarely seen in the sharp or perfect tone, but in what you feel alone. Every doubt a drifting wave, every fear I used to say, now I let them pass me by, like distortion in the sky. By noon the signal stabilizes, less disguises, more surprises. I don't chase a louder gain, I just tune and stay in range. Every task becomes a note, every breath a steady quote from a life I finally hear, not through noise but crystal clear. Through the static I align with a deeper, truer sign. Not perfection, not control, just a rhythm in my soul. I don't need to amplify every sound that passes by. I just stay where I belong, in my own unbroken song. Signal lock. For the first time, it's mine. Doors open at night, I'm already inside. hallways lined with quiet frames. Every wall repeats my name. Moments frozen, carefully placed. Time arranged, but never chased. Glass reflects a softer face, one I almost can't replace. Labels typed in measured tone, version 3.2 outgrown. There's a room for every phase, every habit, every craze. Failures hung in subtle light, so they almost feel like right. I walk slow, I recognize pieces I once tried to hide. Curated, clean, contained in the museum I maintain. Every exhibit tells a lie if you only pass it by. But if you stop and really see, it's still alive inside of me. I'm not fixed in what I've been, not the frame, but what's within. Every version still remains in the museum I maintain. There's a wing I rarely show, where the softer moments go. Dreams I shelve for better days, file beneath more useful ways. Spotlight hits a younger me, I still wide with clarity. No deadlines, no polished tone, just a truth I hadn't known. I adjust the light in there, make it seem less rare, less fair. Like it's something I outgrew just to justify what I do. But the silence starts to speak through the cracks I couldn't keep. Every shadow, every stain questions what I rearranged. Every exhibit tells a lie if you only pass it by. But the deeper that I look, I can't close this open book. I'm not fixed in what I've been, not the glass I'm looking in. Every version calls my name from the museum I maintain. Who decides what's worth the space? Who defines what gets erased? If I'm both the art and guide, what am I still trying to hide? Every label, every line was a choice I called design. But the truth begins to bend when I see what I don't mend. There's no guess, no opening day. No one else has walked this way. Every step I finally see was just me observing me. Not a museum I defend, but a story I pretend is complete or safely done when it's barely just begun. So I take the frames apart, let the air inside the art. Let it breathe, let it change, let it fall outside the frame. Every exhibit starts to move. Every truth I thought I knew shifts and bends and rearranges as I step beyond the pages. I'm not trapped in what I've made, not the past I've curated. I'm the space, I'm the flame, not the museum, not the name. Doors don't close, they were never there. If I could write back, I think I finally know what I'd say. Morning light across my screen, same routine I've always seen. Coffee warm, a quiet start, but something pulls me to my heart. Old notebooks inside a drawer, things I haven't read in years before. Pages filled with younger dreams, messy thoughts and in-betweens. I traced the lines I used to write, every hope, every fight. Didn't know how far I'd go, didn't know what I'd outgrow. There's a version of me still there, wondering if I ever cared, if I made it, if I stayed, if I lost myself along the way. So I write these words I never sent to the one I almost left. Every doubt you held so tight helped me see a different light. You were scared, but you were strong, even when you felt so wrong. And the truth I couldn't see, you were always guiding me. Yeah. Emails calling, deadlines near, but your voice is louder here, reminding me of simpler days before I learned so many ways to overthink, to overplan, to be more than just I am. You just lived and you just tried without needing to decide if it all would make some sense, if it all would recompense. You just moved and let it be, and somehow that carried me. I thought growth meant leaving you, becoming something clean and new, but now I see what's actually true. I just grew around you. So I write these words I never sent to the one I represent. Every fear you couldn't face still echoes in my pace. You were lost, but you were real, more than anything I feel. And the life I'm living now is because you showed me how. If I could sit beside you there, tell you life is still unfair, but you'll learn to breathe through it, not control it, not outdo it. Not every dream stays the same, some evolve, some change their name, but none of them were ever wrong, they just didn't all belong. Now I'm sitting where you dreamed. Life's not quite what it had seemed, but it's deeper, it's more true, and I owe that all to you. Not the wins, not what I've done, but the way you didn't run from the fear, from being small. That's what built me after all. So I send these words at last, through the future, through the past, not to change what we went through, but to say I'm proud of you. And the person I became still carries your name, not behind and not above, just a different kind of love. I never needed to go back, you were always here. Cars pass, voices fade, but something in me stays. Sidewalk cracks beneath the light, people moving left and right, conversations blur and blend like they don't have a clear end. Engines humming, steady waves echo through these narrow lanes, every sound a scattered thread of the world inside my head. I used to feel I had to match every pace I tried to catch, running just to stay in line with a rhythm not mine. Now I slow without delay, let the motion drift away. In the noise I start to see what is still inside of me. There's a stillness in the flow, where the loud don't need a show. Every step, every sound, circles, but I'm not bound. I don't need a rush or race, I don't need to take a place. And the world I tried to chase moves around my inner space. Screens reflect the restless glow, signals I used to follow, pulling me from where I stand into something secondhand. Now I filter what I hear, only keep what feels sincere. Let the rest just pass me by like reflections in the sky. Yeah, every breath a softer pace, not a loss, not a waste, just a a shift in how I move through the noise, through the groove. Not against and not alone, just a space I've finally grown. In the quiet I can find a more centered state of mind. There's a stillness in the flow, even when the streets overflow. Every moment, every beat finds me grounded where I meet. I don't fight what I can't steer, I don't hold what disappears. All the things I used to chase fade into a calmer place. Maybe peace was never far, not in silence, not in stars, but in how I choose to be present in complexity. Every sound I let it be part of one big symmetry. Not chaotic, not confined, just a pattern I can find. Now the street feels like a song that I've been inside all along. Not too fast and not too slow, just a rhythm I can know. And the calm I try to find was a shift inside my mind. Not outside or far away, but in how I choose to stay. There's a stillness in the flow, now I feel it as I go. Every sound and every line falls into a new design. I don't search for something more, I just open up the door. And the peace I couldn't see was the way I move through me. Nothing stopped, I just learned how to listen. I thought I was falling, but maybe I was just orbiting. Weightless thoughts and silent drift, circling what I can't fix. Every question left behind still returns in altered lines. Pulls I couldn't name before, subtle shifts I can't ignore. Every step I try to lead bends around what I don't see. I was reaching for a ground, something stable, something sound. But the more I tried to land, the less I seemed to understand. There's a force I couldn't fight, not a wrong and not a right. In the motion I can feel something constant, something real. Gravity I don't resist pulls me into what exists. Every fall I used to fear becomes clearer when I'm here. I don't need to hold control, I just move within the whole. And the ground I tried to find was the center of my mind. Signals bending out of shape, time I couldn't calculate. Moments stretch and then compress, forming something I can't guess. Used to think I had a path linear and built to last. Now I'm moving curved designs, loops and layers intertwined. Every doubt I tried to break turns into a path I take. Not a setback, not delay, just a different kind of way. Not a loss and not a fall, just alignment after all. In the pull I start to see what is meant to move with me. Gravity I let it be, not a weight but symmetry. Every drop I used to fight now just shifts my sense of sight. I don't need a solid ground, I just move within the sound. All the things I tried to flee circle back eventually. Maybe falling isn't down, maybe it's a turning round. Every orbit I deny still exists if I don't try. Not escaping, not confined, just emotion redefined. Every force I couldn't name was a pattern in the same. Feel it differently, not as loss but clarity. Every loop I used to doubt was a way I worked it out, and the space I couldn't place was the center of this space, not outside or far from view, but the axis I move through. But the axis I move through. Gravity I now embrace, not a pull I must replace. Every motion, every line brings me back to what is mine. I don't search for something still, I just move and let it build. In the fall I feared before was the flow I'm moving for. I wasn't losing control, I was finding my center. I thought I was someone, turns out I was assembling. Yeah, morning grids the window light into fragments sharp and bright, angles falling on the floor. Like I've seen this shape before. Coffee foams and layered rings, tiny architectural things. Every ripple, every line hints at patterns in design. I arrange my thoughts in place, stack them up with careful grace. Label edges, smooth the seams. Call it me, or so it seems. But the structure shifts again when I look a little in. Nothing stable, nothing fixed, only layers intermixed. I'm a structure built from flow, pieces I don't fully know. Every part I try to name starts dissolving just the same. Not a self I need to find, but a pattern in the mind. And the shape I thought was me is just active geometry. Emails into lines align, external data redefined. Every input leaves a trace, reshaping my inner space. Deadlines press like subtle force, bending angles in their course. I adapt without a sound, reconstructing what I found. Every role I used to play was a frame I'd overlay. Now I see beneath the skin forms that shift from deep within. No foundation carved in stone, only things I've overgrown. Every truth I held so tight was a version, not the right. I'm a structure built from flow, not a fixed or final show. Every moment redesigns all the edges, all the lines. Not a loss to let it break, not a risk to rearrange. Every change I feared before was expansion at the core. Maybe nothing needs to stay. Maybe change is just the way. Every wall I tried to keep was a boundary I outgrew deep. Not destruction, not decay, just a shift in how I stay. Present in a moving form, calm inside a quiet storm. So I stop defining lines, let them blur and realign. Not collapsing, not undone, just evolving into one. Not a single solid frame, not a fixed unchanging name, just a system open wide with no need to justify. I'm not something I can take, not a loss and not a gain. I'm the motion, I'm the shift, I'm the space that patterns drift. And the self I try to hold was a story I was told. Now I move and let it be an unfolding geometry. No final form, just endless design. Floating, or maybe becoming. Morning boots and silent code, light compiles along the road. Pixels form the edge of things, defined by what attention brings. Coffee steams and fractal loops, micro patterns, subtle proofs. Every swirl a rendered guess of what I call realness. Screen reflects a softer blur, where observer meets the stir of a world that seems to wait for my mind to calculate. Every glance refines the scene, fills the gaps in what's unseen. Not discovered, not just found, but constructed frame by frame right now. Rendered in real time, I see reality adjusting me. Every thought a point of view, drawing what I think is true. Not a world that's fully there, but a process I declare. And the life I thought was fixed is a system being mixed. Emails load like side quest queued, fragments of a chosen mood. Every task a note I click in a graph that shifts so quick. Deadlines tick like frame rate drops, moments freeze then softly pop. Time itself begins to bend based on where I choose to send. Focus sharpens, edges clear, lose it once it disappears. What I hold becomes defined, what I don't just fades from mind. Not a glitch and not a flaw, just the engine I ignore. Every second that I live is a render I give. Rendered in real time, I float through a world I barely know. Not external, not a part, but emerging from my heart. Every line I think I see is a traced identity, and the self I tried to prove is the lens I always use. Maybe nothing's pre-designed, maybe meaning's what I bind to the shapes that come and go in the space I call I know. Every doubt a flicker shift, every truth a transient if not eternal, not complete. Just a loop that can repeat. Then it slows, or feels that way. Frames dissolve into the gray, not because the world is gone, but because I moved along. I'm not watching what is there, I'm composing what I share. Every Every moment, every sight is awareness giving light. Rendered in real time, I am both the code and the program, not confined to what I see, but the source of clarity. And the world I thought was true only lies because I do. Not illusion, not pretend, just perception without end. No loading screen, just infinite rendering. Next station, I'm still here. Train slides in with metal sides, doors open, shifting tides, faces blurring, passing frames, different lives but same old pace. Hands hold on the rails in time, eyes locked in their inner lines. Every step a practiced move, in a rhythm people prove. I stand still but travel far, through the thoughts of who we are. Every stop a subtle sign of a state inside my mind. I used to rush to reach the end, try to know what's coming next. Now I let the motion be part of how I move through me. Between stops I start to see there's a space that's just for me. Not ahead and not behind, just a moment I can find. I don't need to speed it up, I don't need to fill the cup. And the path I try to know moves beneath me as I go. Yeah. Screens glow with a quiet pull, endless dreams that never dull. Trying hard to shape the flow of the things I think I know. Used to follow every sign, map it out in perfect lines. Now I drift but not unsure, more connected, more secure. Every voice that fills the air doesn't need my full repair. I decide what I receive, what to hold and what to leave. Not a loss and not a gain, just a shift inside the frame. In the motion I can find a calmer way to use my mind. Between stops I let it be, every change inside of me, every doubt I used to keep now dissolves in something deep. I don't fight what I can't steer, I don't hold what disappears. All the things I try to chase fade into a slower pace. Yeah, yeah. Maybe movement isn't speed, maybe it's what we perceive. Every place I thought I'd go was a state I didn't know. Not outside and not a plan, just awareness as I am. Every station, every line connects back into my mind. Now the train feels like a flow, not a place I need to go. Every turn, every delay still unfolds in its own way. And the road I tried to find wasn't somewhere, wasn't time, just a shift in how I move through the rhythm, through the groove. Between stops I finally know I don't need a place place to go. Every breath, every line fits within this state of mind. I don't search, I don't control, I just move within the whole. And the life I tried to chase was the space I now embrace. No final stop, just a ride. I used to hear it as pressure. Now it sounds like rhythm. Ticking softly on the wall like it doesn't care at all. Every second slips the same, never rushing, never late. Light shifts slowly on my desk, tracing shapes I never guessed. Shadows stretching, then they fade like decisions that I made. Keys respond beneath my hands like they follow quiet plans. Every movement, every line finds a place within the time. I don't race against the sound, I just let it spin around. In the space I start to see, time is moving just like me. Ticking, but I'm calm inside. Let the current be my guide. Every moment, every breath finds its place without regret. I don't need to run ahead, I don't feel what hasn't said. And the time I try to chase now just moves at my own pace. Notifications come and go like they're asking me to show something faster, something more than I've ever been before. Used to answer every call, trying not to miss it all. Now I choose what I receive, what to hold and what to leave. Every pause I used to doubt, now I let it stretch out. In the silence I can hear what was always waiting here. Not a loss and not delay, just a different kind of way. In the rhythm I can find a quieter state of mind. Ticking, but I'm calm within. No more fight, I need to win. Every second I allow feels more open somehow. I don't need to understand every shift or every plan. All the time I thought I lost was just time I hadn't crossed. Maybe time was never fast, maybe I just held it tight, trying hard to make it last or to push beyond the light. Now I lose in every hole, let the moment just unfold. In the space I used to fear turns into something clear. The ticking fades away, not because it chose to stay, but because I finally hear it was always neutral here. Not against me, not for me, just a quiet symmetry. In the life I tried to time was unfolding in its prime. Ticking, but I'm calm and free. Time is no longer chasing me. Every step I take aligns with the rhythm I define. I don't search for what is next, I don't measure, I just accept. And the time I try to hold was already mine to unfold. It never changed, I just listened differently. I remember everything except who I was. Morning writes across my skin, light leaks softly settling in. Same routine, familiar flow, but something's missing, I don't know. Coffee tastes like deja vu, like I've lived this point of view. Keys beneath my fingers hum, but they don't feel like they're from me. Sticky notes and number plans, schedules drawn by steadier hands. Every box is neatly filled, still a silence sits unskilled. There's a gap between the lines where I lose what once was mine. Not a break that I can see, but a shift in identity. All these things I learned to be, built a version missing me. Every step was clean, precise, but I paid a hidden price. Now I read between the lines, in the margins of my mind, trying to recall the way I used to feel the day. Emails echo task by task, every answer wears a mask. Efficient, sharp, composed a line, but distant from what's undefined. I remember chasing more, running past an open door. Something called me soft and low, but I said later, let it go. Now later lives inside my chest as a quiet kind of unrest. Every dream I postponed still exists, but overgrown. Not erased, to set aside all the parts I couldn't hide, buried deep in polished days under layers of delay. All these things I learned to be, built a version missing me. Every step was clean, precise, but I paid a hidden price. Now I read between the lines, in the margins of my mind, trying to recall the way I used to feel the day. Maybe I didn't lose my way, I just followed all the way. In the folders labeled later, not important, maybe greater, but the cost of being right was disconnecting from the light. Not the sunlight through the room, but the one I used to bloom. So I stop mid-sentence still, let the silence shape my will. Close the tabs inside my head, let the noise fall back instead. And I feel it faint but true, something old but breaking through. Not a thought, not something new, just a sense I always knew. All these things I try to be start dissolving gradually. Not a loss, but letting go of the weight I didn't know. In the margins I can find fragments left for me in time, not forgotten, just delayed. Parts of me I'm now reclaiming. I didn't forget who I was, I just stopped listening. It's strange how something so clear can still distort. Glass reflects a second me, lay it over what I see. Outside moves in quiet streams, inside drifts in deeper themes. Like bends softly on the frame, never falling quite the same. Every angle shifts the view, nothing fixed but still feels true. I watch scenes that pass me by, blur beneath the muted sky. But the more I look out there, the more I feel what's in here. I used to trust what I could see, take it as reality. Now I question every line where the world meets what is mine. Through my window I can tell there's more than what appears as well. Every image, every view carries something coming through. I don't chase what's far away, I don't force what I can't say. In the world I thought I knew changes with my point of view. Notifications flicker light like reflections in the night. Every message, every tone tries to claim what I call own. Used to follow every sign, thinking clarity was defined. Now I pause and let it shift, let perspective gently drift. Every shadow on the glass moves but never truly lasts. Like the thoughts I used to hold, trying hard to feel control. Not a lie and not a fact, just perception in an act. In the space I start to see what belongs to only me. Through my window things align, not in straight or perfect lines. Every blur and every break shows a path I didn't take. I don't need a clearer sight, I just sit within the light. And the truth I tried to prove wasn't how I choose to view. Maybe nothing's ever still, everything just bends at will. Not illusion, not mistake, just the shape that thoughts can take. Every lens I've ever worn changes how the world is drawn. Not outside and not within, just a place where both begin. Now I look but differently, not for what it has to be, just observing what unfolds without trying to control. And the line I couldn't find was never outside my mind, just a shift in how I see turns confusion into clarity. Through my window I am still, yet the world moves as it will. Every moment, every sign fits within this space of mine. I don't search for something new, I just soften how I view. And the life I try to see was reflecting back at me. Nothing changed, I just looked again. He's already awake before I even move. There's a man across the room, standing quiet in the gloom. Same outline, same posture too, moves exactly like I do. Sunlight cuts between us clean, splitting what is and what has been. Coffee cup in trembling hands, he repeats what I had planned. Every motion mirror back, no delay, nothing lacks. But something in his distant stare feels like he's more aware, like he knows what I'll become before the day is even begun. And I'm just trying to keep pace with the version I can't replace. He don't rush, he don't pretend, he don't break, he doesn't bend. Every move so calm, so right, like he's already won the fight. I keep working, chasing proof, he just stands there living truth. And I don't know what it means, but he sees through everything. night screams, deadlines stitched into my dreams. I start typing, chasing speed. He just watches, doesn't need. Every version I perform, every mask I try to form falls apart beneath his gaze, like he's seen me through all phases. I adjust, I overthink, try to close what I can't shrink. But the harder that I try, the more I feel him simplify. No reaction, no defense, just a quiet confidence, like he's not impressed at all by the way I rise and fall. He don't rush, he don't pretend, he don't break, he doesn't bend. Every move so calm, so right, like he's already won the fight. I keep working, chasing proof. He just stands there living truth, and I don't know what it means, but he sees through everything. So I stop mid-typing line, let the silence realign. Ask him softly what you know that I don't or can't control. But he don't speak, he don't explain. Stillness louder than my brain. Then I know there's something strange. He only moves when I change. There's no man across the room, just a mirror in the gloom. Every doubt I tried to hide, standing clearly eye to eye. Not ahead and not behind, just a version of my mind, unaffected by the race, unafraid to take up space. He was never that elite, never someone I must be, just the part I left behind when I chose to chase and grind. I don't rush, I don't pretend, I don't break, I learn to bend. Every move no longer fight, just aligning what feels right. No more chasing empty proof, I step closer to the truth. And the man I thought I knew was the one I never used. He was never watching me, I was finally seeing me. I kept searching for what was missing. Didn't realize I was holding it. Pieces scattered on the floor, shapes I never seen before, edges that don't seem to match, fragments I can't seem to catch. Every part I tried to place left another empty space. Every answer led to more questions than I had before. I was flipping every side, trying hard to make it right, looking for a perfect fit in a frame I couldn't sit. I don't know what this will be, but it's forming quietly. In the gaps I start to feel something shifting into real. I was searching for a piece, something lost that brings me peace. Every part I pushed aside was still waiting deep inside. I don't need to force the view, I don't need to make it new. And the shape I tried to see was the space that made me me. Voices telling what is right, guiding me to fit it tight. Cut the edges, smooth the lines, leave the parts that don't align. Used to think I had to change, rearrange, become the same as a picture in my head that was never truly said. Now I see the lines I drew, never held a point of view, just a pattern I assumed in the space I never zoomed. Not a flaw and not a break, just a form I couldn't take. In the silence I can find the clearest sense of mind. I was searching for a piece, thinking something was incomplete. Every gap I tried to fill was already part of will. I don't need a final frame, I don't need a perfect name. All the things I tried to be never fit, but set me free. Yeah. Never fit but set me free. Yeah, yeah. Maybe nothing's ever wrong, just not a place where it belongs. Every edge I try to hide still connects on the inside. Not a puzzle I must solve, but a shape that can evolve. Every piece I couldn't place held the truth I couldn't face. And it hit me, soft but clear, nothing ever missing here. All the parts I tried to find were the ones I left behind. Not a piece I had to gain, not a loss, not even pain. Just a space I couldn't see, till I stopped searching for me. I was never incomplete, I was standing in the peace. Every part I tried to chase was already in its place. I don't search and I don't prove, I just stay and let it move. And the thing I tried to be was the space that let me be. Nothing missing, just misunderstood. Yeah. Too many signals, let me find mine. Static drifting through the air, fragments floating everywhere. Voices laid out of phase, blending into endless haze. Frequencies I used to chase, pulling me from place to place. Every tone demands a name, every sound feels like a claim. Hands still working keys in line, but my head is out of time, caught between what's loud and near and what I barely start to hear. I don't need to catch it all, I just let the extras fall. In the noise I start to see what belongs to only me. I'm tuning into something slow, letting all the static go. Every signal I don't need fades into a softer speed. I don't chase what's everywhere, I just sit and stay aware. And the truth I couldn't see was the frequency in me. Messages blink then dissolve, questions I don't need to solve. Every input, every stream tries to shape what I should be. Used to answer every call, thinking I should hear it all. Now I filter, now I choose what to keep and what to lose. Every pause becomes a space where I don't have to replace all the silence with a sound, just to feel a little found. Not a gap and not a flaw, just a moment without law. In the stillness I can find a clearer state of mind. I'm tuning into something real, not what others try to feel. Every layer stripped away leaves a tone that wants to stay. I don't need to amplify every echo passing by. All the noise I used to know was just something I let go. Maybe clarity is quiet, not a force and not a riot, not a signal I must chase, but a shifting in the space. Every sound I used to fear only grew when I held near. Now I loose and let it fade. Find the calm it always made. Now the silence feels alive, like a place I can arrive. Not empty and not alone, just a space that feels like home. And the signal I was seeking was the one I wasn't speaking. Not outside or far from view, but the one I always knew. I'm tuning into what is mine, not a perfect, not defined. Every moment, every breath falls into a quieter depth. I don't search and I don't roam, I just listen close to home. In the clarity I chased was the calm I now embrace. Signal found, it was never lost. Going up or down, I stopped asking. Doors slide open, quiet frame, same reflection, different name. Numbers glowing soft and low, telling me where I could go. Standing still but moving through layers I once thought I knew. Every floor a version of lives of the choices I could give. Buttons pressed without a sound, destinations all around, but I hesitate to choose, like there's something I might lose. I used to think I had to climb higher levels all the time. Now I wonder if that's true, or just something I was taught to do. All these floors I didn't see still exist inside of me. Not above and not below, just directions I can grow. I don't need to chase the top, I don't need to force a stop. And the place I try to reach was a state I couldn't teach. Screens light up a silent glow, messages I used to know calling me to pick a lane, measure worth and loss and gain. Used to ride without a thought, chasing what I thought I sought. Every floor a step ahead of a life inside my head. But the deeper that I feel, something starts to shift and heal. Not a climb and not a fall, just awareness through it all. Not a race and not a test, not a better, not the best. In the stillness I can find every level in my mind. All these floors I let them be parts of my identity. Every state I passed before still exists in every floor. I don't need to choose a side, I just stay within the ride. And the life I tried to scale was already in detail. Maybe up was just a word, maybe down was something heard. Not a truth I had to hold, just a story I was told. Every door I didn't take still exists within the wake of the choices that I made. in the paths I didn't trade. Now I stand, but understand I don't need to press a plan. Every floor I move between is a shift in how I'm seen. Not outside and not ahead, but a space inside my head. And the place I tried to find was a level in my mind. All these floors I finally see, not as where I need to be, but as ways I choose to feel, ways I shape what I call real. I don't rise and I don't fall, I just move through it all. And the height I try to reach was a truth within my reach. No direction, just awareness. Somewhere between the lines, I found it. Yeah. Golden light across the page, spills in quiet fluid waves. Shadows stretch but never stay, they just slowly drift away. Keys hum soft beneath my hands, like they understand my plans. Every tap a subtle sign that I'm syncing up with time. Dust floats in a silent dance, caught between a second's chance. Everything feels undefined, but somehow it all aligns. I don't rush, I let it flow. There's a pace I've come to know, not too fast, not too slow, just enough to let it grow. There's a light between the lines, where my scattered thoughts combine. Every pause becomes a clue, pointing me to something true. I don't chase, I let it be. What is meant will come to me. And the space I used to fight turns into a source of light. Yeah, messages blinking and out like they're asking me for doubt, but I filter what I hear, keep the signals that are clear. Every task a moving piece, not a burden, not a leash, just a rhythm I can ride with no need to force or hide. Used to think I had to prove something big or something new. Now I move without the weight of a timeline I create. Every breath resets the frame, nothing ever stays the same. In the shift I start to see change was always part of me. There's a light between the lines, where my scattered thoughts combine. Every doubt I left behind now it turns in softer signs. I don't need to hold it tight, I don't need to make it right. All the things I try to fight fade into a clearer sight. Maybe clarity is small, not a breakthrough, not a call, just a quiet sense of this, hidden in the in-between bliss. Not a finish, not a start, just awareness doing its part. In the stillness I can find what was never left behind. Now the moment feels more wide, like there's nothing left to hide. Every thought I let it pass, like reflections through the glass. I don't hold, I don't resist, I just move within the mist, and the path I tried to see was unfolding under me. There's a light between the lines, not ahead and not behind. Every step becomes the way. Not tomorrow, just today. I don't search for something new, I just stay inside the view. And the life I try to find was already in my mind. Nothing missing, just unnoticed. Didn't notice at first, but something's been growing. Morning light through window leaves, paints the floor in quiet greens. Coffee warming in my hands, like soil before new plans. Notes I wrote the night before, scattered seeds across the floor. Didn't know which ones would stay, didn't know which ones would fade. Tiny efforts barely seen, hidden underneath routine, but I feel it soft and slow. Something steady starts to grow. Not in leaps, not overnight, just in rhythm, just in time. Every moment that I show leaves a trace beneath the soil. I grow what I give each day, in the choices that I make. Every thought I let remain turns to roots beneath the rain. I don't need to rush the bloom, I don't need to prove it soon. All the things I'm working through are becoming something true. Emails come like passing breeze, some I keep and some I leave. Not every win deserves a hold, some just pass and lose their role. Deadlines like the changing skies, clouds that shift but never define what I built beneath the ground. In the space where I am found, used to chase a brighter spring, forgetting what the now could bring. Now I water what I start, tend the garden of my heart. Every pause a place to breathe, every doubt a fallen leaf. Not a loss, just part of growth, feeding roots I didn't know. I grow what I give each day, in the words I choose to say. Every step I take with care plants a future waiting there. I don't need to see it now, don't need answers to the how. All the work I'm moving through is becoming something true. Seasons turn, I learn to stay, even when the light turns gray. Not every phase is meant to shine, some are there to realign. Roots go deeper when it's slow, that's the part we never show. What looks still from out of view is the strongest kind of growth. Now I sit and see it clear, nothing wasted brought me here. Every day I showed up small, wasn't small at all. Every moment I believed, even slightly quietly, built a life I couldn't see, till it started growing me. I grow what I give each day, and it grows in subtle ways. Not a race and not a fight, just a slow return to light. And the life I try to find was a garden in my mind. All the things I thought I knew were just seeds I'm growing through. Nothing rushed, everything grew